Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another one of our BBH 15 preseason podcast, going over the stories of our BBH 15 cast. What is their second chance? What did they do wrong? What do they need to do this time to get it all the way to the end? Today, I'm very excited to be talking about the wonderful, the fabulous, the beautiful Carly Woolman. And joining me to talk about her are the two people who are at the most direct fault for her game coming to a crashing end. 13. It's the other 2/3 of the picture that launched 1,000 conversations. Jacob Sparks and Susie Caldwell. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So, spoiler alert, for those of you who don't know, and if you didn't see this already, Susie, you're joining production. We talked about this when we talked about, somebody else in the cast. I don't even remember who. And I've done 20 of these. I have done 20
no name, not a filler queen. Filler queen.
Oh, no. But Sparks, you're here. I cannot with y'all. I can never. Nothing with y'all is ever so simple. Okay. But Susie's on production. Sparks is here to talk about Carly. Give us some overall thoughts about Carly returning to Big Brother Hometowns.
It's everything she's probably ever wanted. I think she's going to be very excited to come back. I think she'll be excited to be in a group where like those dynamics might exist, but she's not the only one. Because BBH is a very connected group. Like once people play and connect, those relationships exist. And so I think she's going to have more fun not having to hide or attempt to hide or have to like be on eggshells with people wondering how they're going to react to things that are kind of outside her abilities to manage.
Agreed.
Yeah. Especially now that she has played a couple games, coming back to BBH, I think she's going to have a much better idea of what to expect and how to approach situations. So I'm really excited to see what she does with that.
Yeah, I will say it did take a little bit of coercion to get her. I'm pretty sure I texted her like every day for a week and was like thinking about when you apply for Big Brother Hometowns 15. I know that Carly has, she's played a few other games now since her time in 15, and I know that they've not gone the way that she wanted them to do. What do you think, like, because I think Carly has every ability to be, she is a great player and she has like every ability she needs to take it all the way to the end. But she keeps falling just shy of, making a jury. What does she need to do to overcome that hurdle here in Big Brother Hometowns 15?
I think that Carly is someone who has great social charisma. Like you get on a call with her and you fall in love. You buy into everything she's saying and you're on board with working with her as much as you need to. However, I think what happens to Carly is at specific pivotal points, which tends to be either right before jury or merge, that people start to realize, oh, Carly is well connected. And even if I feel good with her, I think the issue is people don't know where Carly's priorities are at. So even if she's like, you're my priority, they're like, I don't know that because all these other people are saying they feel good with you. And so that makes me worried about where I'm at in your ranking. And so I think that's when they're like, well, we might as well get her out because if she makes it far enough, no one's going to want to take the shot because they feel like they need her as a number moving forward. And if I can take her out where it's not necessary to have her as a member and I'm okay to lose her, they're going to do it. And I think she has to go out there and literally work with people to say, you are someone I want to go as far as possible with. And she has to mean it and she has to believe in it herself because I think that's what the issue was. Is at least with our BBH season, I think people were like, at least with like me and her, they're like, ooh, like lots of people feel really good with Carly. Interesting. And then that's when I think they realize like if she's good with everyone, she's not as good with me. And that's not a reason to keep her.
Yeah, and I think it's less of a problem in Big Brother, but I think she can also get a little restless and want to like make moves a little bit earlier than she should. And so if she's able to straddle that line between like showing her allies that she is really with them and that they are very important to her without going too far of let me prove it by like trying to take out like a big threat when she doesn't actually have the numbers to do so. I think she'll be in a good position if she can kind of find that balance.
Yeah. Not everybody walks into their first org and wins, right? Like that, and it rarely happens. I think like for people who play more than one game, it's all a process of what have you learned from game to game and what have you brought from those experiences. And I think for Carly, as somebody who has a lot of the great base set of skills that you need to be a good player, I think what I'm seeing from her in the preseason, with just like the way she talked in her introduction video, she's showing a lot of awareness about the things that got her in trouble in Big Brother Hometowns 13. I think she, I think she I think Susie, you said this earlier. I think she has a lot of perspective about like the way that her connections hurt her in her season, and now like what does that mean for coming into this season, which is obviously very connected. I think she's showing a great sense of awareness about like the situation that she's walking into and the way that she is when she interacts with people that she doesn't know. And I really think that this might be like one of those, this might be her time to put the pieces together. She's going to need people out in front of her. She's going to need people who are out in front of her to take that heat, because she's typically the person who takes that heat. And I wonder, like, for her, like, Carly she's so confident. She's so bold. She's so, like, uniquely and, wholly herself. Like, is she able to diminish her threat level? Is she able to diminish those things about herself to let other people step in front of her so that they take the shots before she does? I'm very curious to watch her try and figure that out. You guys are two really good friends of her. Like, what's that going to take for her to like step back, diminish her, like let her threat level diminish, let her like, she can't go in and be the bold Carly that she is, because she's just going to be out in front and go out early again. So what's that going to take for her to step back and,
I almost kind of think that this season might allow for her to actually be that personality that she normally has. And I think the big issue is our season was slow as fuck for the first part. Like it was, well, all right, Lauren quit, say rip. And then it was, okay, 2 inactives. Okay. And then it was, okay, Alejandro quit. And then it was, okay, another kind of battle of some more inactives. And it wasn't really until after Tevin's eviction did the game really step up, because like you said, that was when Stoner really was like, time to start doing some work for a day and then leave for 2 days. But it was like, that was when the game started to spice up. But by that time, Carly had done so much damage to her game because the game was so slow that like that was all they had to latch onto. Was there wasn't enough game to talk about. Like it was a photo, and then it was like Carly's way that she kind of interacted with people that rubbed people the wrong way. And so it was just like there wasn't a lot to like really decide like who should we go for next, because our whole thought process was I'm just going to get rid of people I'm not as connected to, and that was no longer an excuse that we had. And so I'm thinking she might be able to actually kind of go in and be a little bit, the same of, because I think, or I hope that the Second Chances game is going to start the game's going to start running pretty quick, because no one wants to be an early boot in their second chance story. Nobody wants their game to be like an embarrassing, like, oh, I came back and it was just as bad as the first time. So I think she might actually get away with it. I think I would like to see her try it again. and see how she can maneuver, because I think it could work to her advantage here.
And I think she has a couple advantages coming into this, is that because she knows a lot of people and a lot of people know that she knows a lot of the people on this cast, people are more familiar with just how she interacts with people. And, you know, like, she doesn't come across as fake to people who know her. That really only happens when you haven't really interacted with her. And that was one of the big issues with 13, was people were just so thrown off by her administrative voice.
Right.
Iconic Julia.
And so I think that having enough people that she's comfortable with already and who kind of have an idea of how she interacts, it's not going to be this immediate like red flag target of she must be lying to me. And one thing that I think that she's really going to have to do is in life with her friends, she's very much, let me give you advice, especially when her friends talk to her about games. She tries to tone them down and rein them in. And I think what she needs to do is the opposite of that and encourage some of their bad tendencies in order to benefit her.
Yeah, no, and this is a very good point. Like, we don't know when this will drop in the series of, like, you know, what is she going to be, an early release or a late release? But as you have seen in the cast, or as you will see in the cast, there are quite a few personalities, large personalities, people that play similar games to Carly, people who play way bigger games than Carly. And I think if she can hide behind those people, and like you said, encourage them to do some buffoonery, then she could be, I think she could be in a great spot there. I don't think Carly comes in with a huge target on her back, to be quite honest with you. She was a pre-merge person in her, you know, in your guys' season. She was the HOH, but it was the plague. She didn't like win a comp. You know what I mean? Like, she won the plague, but like
she's a real winner.
What? The plague is a social comp.
She survived random.org.
She said a chocolate candy.
She truly did with y'all season. She was the luckiest random person. But like, I don't think people are going to be like, oh my God, you know, Carly the comp beast, or Carly the, like, she wasn't a finalist, she didn't make the jury. You know, I can't see people being like, she's top of my priority list of people that I want to get out. I think she showed, and people who did their research on BBH 13 will show, that Carly was incredibly loyal to the people that she was loyal to. So she's shown that she can be loyal. She's a good ally. She fought tooth and nail to stay, and that's, you know, a very appealing quality. I think I actually am expecting people to line up to work with Carly, is actually what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I think you look at Carly, I think at the beginning you're like, I know she's can be a sneaky and sly little gal, but you're not worried about her right away. But you do keep it in the back corner of your mind, and you be kind of ignorant to not do that, and be like, just remember, like, Carly's power. I think the biggest thing that if they really want to dwell on it is the fact that Carly can use her words to make things happen. And like you said to us, like, in any other, like, 99 times out of 100, we could have flipped the vote on Crystal. And so, like, I think she, like, to know that too, like, she is powerful. And if she's in danger, she has the ability to get her way out of it with the power of her words. I think what she has to do, though, is be loyal, but she has to, I feel like what she kind of has to do is what Susie said, like, allow people to kind of fall on their own sword, but also maybe not always give people that ability to fight, to keep themselves out of trouble. So like if she knows that someone might be in danger, let them not know they might be in danger. Don't give them that opportunity to get out of that hole that they might not know they're in, because I think that's what we saw is things can happen when people might realize they're in danger and changes can be made, because we have that time. It's not as quick decision making as you're used to in other formats. So, but that is something to note with Carly is if you give her a chance and you give her a platform and you give her a Skype call, she can change your mind and she can enlighten you to the world in which Carly lives, that she's needed, you need her, things like that. But I can see her getting picked up quite early to make moves because people will feel like she will work with them to make those moves happen, whether or not she's on board.
I just realized that my microphone wasn't plugged in for the entirety of this interview. So sorry if my sound quality is just absolute dog shite, but
it didn't sound bad. It sounded like it was
great
on the
to
whole
me.
time.
So I'm really thriving. So fun question, kind of a funny question. Gonna subtle little read gonna happen here. Not to expose Carly too much, but both of you were on her do not cast list for this season. What do you guys think she'll make of some other potential people she may see from season 13? Obviously she didn't want to play with you guys because that was a hard thing to go.
Oh, because we did better than her.
Right, exactly.
She's a jealous bitch.
Yeah. So petty.
But the potential to see some other players from season 13 is definitely on the table. How do you guys think? I mean, Susie, but Jacob,
let me guess.
Well, that's going to be the hard part, is because there are so many good second chance stories, I think, that come out of season 13. And so I'm hoping it's Stoner, because I would just love to see a Carly Stoner dynamic form in a way that we were not able to see Len the previous time. But I think she's gonna be smart. I think she's gonna make that relationship happen. She's gonna form it, and I think she will determine how much effort she wants to put into that, and whether or not she feels that tie needs to be severed or that is someone she needs to be completely loyal to. I think we might see that. And normally for the first couple of rounds, I predict that people will stick to their seasons, at least for maybe the first 2 HOHs, unless something chaotic happens. But I think she'd be excited to reunite and rekindle that. But then also, I think she's going to keep it at like a little thing and be like, it's either going downhill or that is a very, very top tier ally for her.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting because thinking about like the people who could potentially be from season 13, she didn't really work with any of them. Like, they all voted her out.
Yeah.
So it could go either one of two ways. It could just be like, well, rivalry part 2, or it could be, hey, let's actually work together this time. And it could be a really, really good alliance, partnership, whatever it ends up being.
I see Carly as somebody who can put bygones, she can let bygones be bygones. Like, I don't know if there are other people will feel the same. I don't feel like Carly has much to come into this season and apologize to other people for. But I think she is willing. She would definitely be willing to let bygones be bygones and build those relationships and see where they go. I don't know if she sticks. I hope she doesn't stick exclusively to them, because I think that's going to get her in a lot of trouble. But I think she could use them and make sure that they're not coming for her anymore. And I think that she's a smart enough player to accomplish that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think if it's Jamie or Stoner, I think she goes with them. If it's anybody else, I think she's hesitant.
Okay. So we're kind of reaching our end time. Let me ask you guys the question that every interview we've wrapped up with this and said, what do you think Carly's second chance story will entail?
Not surviving the double night.
When she goes out on live night, I'm going to point her directly to this moment on this video, time stamped at 2025.
Say rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for her to just enter the game and just airdrop all of her pictures with everyone. Hey guys, we're not doing this again. Here you go. I think her second chance story is really coming in and navigating the pre-existing connections that she has with the pre-existing connections other people have, and how to bridge the gap between the new and the old, and like directing the heat off of her threat level onto the people who are actually not more dangerous, because I think she is very dangerous, but to people who that she can be like, hey, look at them instead, and let them take the heat for whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
I think her second chance story is one where she gets to play the game as like just Carly. No Carly and trio, no Carly and like making me feel like I'm 5 years old. Like I think she gets to go in and just be her. And I think she's gonna show what it means to play the game, but like love the game and eat up the game and have fun playing the game. I think we see her doing the things that I think she's going to accomplish, the things that she didn't get to do that she wanted to do. I think like getting to make a move and flip a vote, getting a big powerhouse out, winning the comps that she needs to win that are pivotal, things like that I think she didn't get the chance to do. I think she's going to take it. And I think no matter how she places, I think she's someone who I think we're going to look at and be like, that is someone who showed how you come back into a game, learning from the things you did and like fixing that and changing it up and playing a different style a little bit. So I think that's going to be Carly's second chance.
Yeah, when I look at this cast, Carly is definitely one of the top like 3 people that I really just hope she gets to play the game that she wants to play. Like just knowing kind of like the history she's had in orgs, and knowing that this is a fresh opportunity, I really want to see her be, like you said, the ability to just play as herself and play her game. And I think like win or not, if she's able to leave this experience and have said like, I got to play my game and I got to play it the way I wanted to and I got to do my thing, then I think like hopefully it's then a positive experience for her. And yeah, I don't know. I really am obsessed with her, and I would love to see her do really well in this game. So I got my fingers crossed for it.
Same. She'll be so much fun to watch.
I cannot wait for her confessionals.
Mm-hmm. I think as long as she keeps it in the confessional, she might also be good. Keep it in the confessional, girl.
The whole house chat will be also waiting for her confessional.
Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. Well, this has gone on far too long for what we intended, but you know, it is what it is. Sparks, Susie, my dynamic duo of BBH 13. Thank you so much for joining me tonight to talk about your dear friend and mine, Carly. Everybody who's watching, thank you so much for tuning into this series. Make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you hype up these people in their reveal posts. Make sure that you get your fantasy picks in and do all the things that you got to do to get prepared for the start of a new season. And until you see us at the cast assessment, most likely that's probably the first thing you'll see for like the season proper. You know, I lost my words. I don't know.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
I think it's just
Goodbye.